my fellow human beings. Welcome to An Act of Courage. Today's video is about adulthood and how we have been lied to, or how we lie to ourselves, thinking that adulthood was the best thing that could happen to us, to be free and do whatever we wanted. Spoiler alert, it's not. When I was a teenager, I couldn't wait to get out of my parents' house, get a job, have my own money to spend, do whatever the heck I wanted to do. Buy my own cigarettes or alcohol. I was so sure that life would be absolutely incredible. And look, it has been in many aspects, but also not in so many other aspects that I am going to share with you shortly. So first of all, adulthood brought me depression and anxiety. It brought the hard task of being my own carer. I need to actually take care of my own health, pay my bills, hope I have a job that helps me pay those bills. And hopefully this job pays more than minimum wage, so I can afford those bills. I need my own health insurance, my mortgage needs to be paid if I am one of the lucky ones. That you have one, or if you're like me, paying someone else's mortgage or their retirement, knowing that all this money will disappear from my bank account and will never bring me closer to have anything, not having my own place. Let's also mention another basic thing, like cooking. You need to cook yourself 2-3 times a day, every day, probably for the rest of your life. And the most stunning question for me every single day is what should I cook for dinner or lunch? Why it is so hard to decide. It takes a lot of brain energy, and all I want is something nourishing and tasty food in my belly so I don't starve. But gosh, I don't want to plan or think about it. Especially after working 8 hours a day, cooking? Forget it. Honestly, when I'm wealthy, the first thing I'll do with this money is hire a personal chef. So this question will never cross my brain ever again. As an adult, you also need to do your own laundry. If you want a shirt to look great, you'll need to iron them yourself too. Like you can see, I don't. If you do, I admire you, because you must have your shit together, not like me. The last time, actually, I used iron, which I clearly shouldn't have. I burned my beloved rag, which I fully adore, and probably I'm gonna show you a picture here so you can see my pain. I was heartbroken. So please join me in the No Iron Club. No one tells you how hard it is to leave your bed every day for the rest of your life, or if you're lucky, until you retire, to go to work to make someone else rich while your dreams and aspiration wave goodbye. You literally count the days to every holiday. A public holiday, to me, feels like a godsend to save me from tiredness of being alive. I hurt my knee in my late twenties, and now I'm one of those people who can tell you when the weather is changing because my knee hurts. Honestly, I am better than the weatherman. He doesn't really know if it's going to rain today, but my knee will give you 99.9% accuracy. Being an adult is facing your childhood trauma, spending all your time triggered by what happened to you, accepting that if you want to change, you are the only one who can do it. And let me tell you, you don't magically heal by reading self-help books. You actually have to do the work. So much work. Most likely for the rest of your life, oscillating between highs and even more lows. Adulthood is when the consequences of what you do become real. There is nowhere to hide. There are no parents to take the fall for you or talk to a teacher and bail you out. Well, they may still bail you out from jail though, if you're lucky. Adulthood is also when the magic you had all around in childhood, the magic that you could feel during Christmas, suddenly disappear. You'll try to feel it again and again every year, but it's just not the same. Adulthood is when a perfect day looks like a day on the couch, binge watching a good show and ordering takeout. Adulthood is pain. It's pain when you see your face starting to change, which means your parents are aging. And you know there's no way to stop that clock. There's no reverse button, and you understand that you really need to cherish every moment you have left with them. Adulthood makes seeing your friends so difficult. No one has the time anymore, and you have to make an appointment to see them maybe every few months, sometimes every 6 months, sometimes once a year. Somehow life becomes so busy and days become months, months becomes year, and suddenly you're 31 because you've blinked your eyes. And you spend your time questioning, where did the time go? Where all the time go? And you always question, what have I done with my life? Have I done enough? Am I doing too much? And spend my days trying to accumulate money to live a better tomorrow, but forget to live for today. And when do we realize that? Do we even realize that? And if we do, will that be too late? Adulthood is overrated. Adulthood was sold as a dream, but no one really prepares you for it. How can I get a driving license, but I have no idea how to change a tire? You're telling me I have studied the geometry, but no one taught me how to make a budget to ensure I can afford groceries this month? It just doesn't make sense. Why haven't they taught me the important stuff? Adulthood is overrated. Adulthood is like a broken promise that everything will be fine, but it does not feel that way. Adulthood is facing loneliness while meeting your demons and not knowing if you'll come out alive. Adulthood is overrated and overwhelming. Adulthood is like wishing you could go back and do it all over again. Because this time you know the truth. You know what different decision you should have made 15 years ago. And if I could just go back, I would do it differently. If I could just go back, I would taste every single second of that childhood and teenage years and hold on to it the longest possible. Also, can someone explain me why we have to do so much admin work in daily life just to get basic necessities? How much paperwork and how many signatures will I have done in my lifetime? Am I just a signature? Am I just a buying machine? Oh, adulthood, you are so overrated. You look like a picture perfect orange sky, but you're actually preparing to rain. Oh, dear adulthood, I gave you the majority of my years. And now I am left pondering if I made the right choices. What if? What if is my worst enemy? What if smells like regret? Regret that the majority of us feel, even if we try so hard not to. Adulthood is meeting your inner child and admitting that she is wounded and scared. And you are the only one who can save her and give her the love she always dreamed of. Adulthood is when you realize that your parents had no idea what they were doing at your age, because you have no idea what you're doing either. Adulthood is spending 11 months every year working so freaking hard so you can be allowed to go on vacation 3-4 weeks a year if you're lucky, hoping that you are on a full-time contract so you will be paid to do so. We live for the hope of it all, right? Adulthood is facing misogyny in the workplace. Adulthood is still being underestimated because there's always someone older, someone with more experience. Adulthood is figuring out who we are. Am I just a juxtaposition of who my parents were and the values they had and the values the society I grew up in gave me? Adulthood is dealing with the harder questions. The hardest of all is, what's the meaning of life? I'm still trying to figure it out, so please send me your answers if you know. Adulthood is making tough decisions, like cutting toxic people out of your life and living with the discomfort of doing it. Adulthood is scheduling automatic payments for your rent, your bills, and hoping that you have enough money when they come out. Adulthood is doing what needs to be done rather than what you want to do, what you really want to do. Adulthood is spending so much time trying to fall asleep while your brain is thinking, overthinking a million things. And when you finally fall asleep, the dream is staying asleep without needing to pee in the middle of the night. Because why can't my bladder hold it for 6 damn hours so I can have a decent night's sleep? Adulthood is trying to watch a movie until the end without falling asleep. This is literally my partner. In fact, we rarely watch movies because she'll never see the end. The other day, I might actually have discovered the adulthood secret, which is if you want to have an amazing adulthood, give your inner child what they used to love. Now, I'm testing this out. This is my new theory. So I'll need to keep you updated on how it goes. But I have my hopes really high. Adulthood crushes your soul and spits out the pieces. I see you. You're not alone in these stressful, messy things called adulthood. I am you. We can't escape adulthood, but maybe there's a way to do more than just survive it and maybe even enjoy it a little bit. It doesn't matter if you're in your teens, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 60s, 70s. Slow down. Really slow down. Savor your life, even the messy, ordinary, chaotic bits. Fall in love with it. Fall in love with those little small moments, those early mornings and those late nights, the laughter that sneaks up on you, the sunset that stops you in your tracks. Make sure adulthood doesn't swallow all the magic it promised. Notice the simplicity, the little joys, the beauty all around. The way sunlight catches on leaves, the smell of fresh coffee, the sound of birds in the morning. Life isn't just about surviving. It's about feeling, noticing it, breathing it all in, and letting yourself be amazed again and again. I personally find nature to be the thing that really make me stop and take my breath away. I am an adult now, so I have a thing for watching birds and slow falling leaves. It makes me feel like magic is all around. Somehow, sometimes during adulthood, we decided, or maybe we didn't even make that decision, it just happened. And we let magic slip through our fingers and settle for survival. I have been in survival mode for such a long time, and last year I decided I had enough. So I went on a journey to remember how magical it is being alive, and this is the only life we are given. A dear friend of mine said to me a while ago, if you want a different life, you are just a decision away. And I remember arguing with her because it's just not that simple. It's not that easy. When you can see a way through, when life is hard, and there are also so many factors that need to be considered before saying, oh, it's just a decision away. But something shifted in the middle of this journey to rediscover magic in my life. And I finally begin to see her point of view and what she really meant with that. It is indeed true. You are just one decision away from having a different life. This decision will probably be another reason adulthood sucks. It will be a real step up, make someone unhappy, will definitely require courage. You will have to let someone go or hold on into something instead of running away. But are indeed just one decision away. Most likely, not an easy one. Most likely, an extremely hard one. But you are nonetheless just one decision away from making this adult sucking life more joyful and worth living. It is one life, one incredible, amazing life. And I feel that as adults, we have a responsibility to give ourselves the most magical, joyful, unserious, adventurous, extraordinary life we can. This doesn't involve being a billionaire. You don't need to have millions to experience the magic that is all around us. You just need to open your heart. We owe it to our inner child. So my recommendation is go out there, look around, find what magic looks like for you. You can try testing my theory, give yourself what your inner child and teenage heart wants, and let me know how it goes. I am pretty sure I actually already shared with you that in my spare room slash office window, I have a picture of myself as a kid, and I say, do it for her, lady. That is for me to remind myself that I need to be courageous and I need to actively search for magic in everyday things. One of my dearest friends, for example, she searches for shaped objects in nature. And heart-shaped things are all around us. And every time she sees them, she smiles and reminds how amazing life can be. And she actually sent me a picture just before I started filming this video, and it was a heart in a tree. So that was amazing. So I just wanted to invite you to stop and smell those flowers. I always smell these white roses on my walk, and it's just so incredible. The smell just reminds me how really magic is all around us. We just need to remove those adulthood sunglasses we unconsciously put on to see it again. I also want to recommend you a book that has personally really helped me in this journey, and is called Women Living Deliciously by Florence Given. And if you haven't read it yet, please do your adult self or your young self a favor and read it and fall in love with life again. So, well, this is my take on adulthood. So please let me know if you completely disagree, if you agree, if you think that adulthood is awesome, or if I forgot to mention any other perk of adulthood that are not so much fun, or how you implement magic in your life. And I'll see you next time. Bye.